I've always been used to being arrogant and domineering. So on my first day returning to the wealthy family, that fake young master directed and acted out a falling scene all by himself. My sisters wouldn't even listen to my explanation and directly wanted to pin the blame on me. I looked at my oldest sister, who was demanding an apology, and just laughed out loud. It was like hearing the funniest joke of the year. Apologize? I slammed my hand hard on the table. Crack! The solid marble tabletop split open on the spot, and along with the entire table, it revealed a terrifying gap. If I really wanted to kill him, do you think you'd have the chance to protect him here? I would have folded him in half and stuffed him in a suitcase long ago. People might even think you one guy and three girls have some shameful relationship. After saying that, I walked straight to the villa's front door without looking back. I purposely used a lot of force when closing it. With a massive bang, both doors were completely destroyed. The left one was dangling loosely, while the right one smashed directly onto the floor. After I left, the four people in the living room looked completely terrified. The manipulative fake young master, Lucinian, was genuinely scared out of his wits this time. Then, he put on a wronged expression. Sisters, did you hear that? Brother said he wants to kill me and stuff me into a suitcase. But right now, the three of them were silently staring at the table, then looking up at the front door. The whole room was dead silent. As soon as I walked out, I regretted it. I realized my pockets were completely empty. I didn't even have a place to stay. I used to live without worrying about food or clothing, and never thought about saving money. Now I really didn't know where to go. After pondering for a while, I decided I might as well go back and make do. No sooner said than done. I turned around and marched right back into the Lu family home. Lu Mengyao was just about to come over and interrogate me, but when she saw the shattered marble on the floor, she quickly hit the brakes. Once back in my room, I started taking inventory of my assets. I thought I had at least over 10,000 in savings, but checking the card revealed there was only 438 bucks left. This number was truly ironic. I smiled bitterly and shook my head and began seriously thinking about a way out. Besides being good at studying, I was practically useless in every other aspect. Forget it. Let's sleep on it first. A few hours later, loud banging on the door woke me up. I groggily got up and went to open the door with a dark expression. What the hell are you knocking for? Knocking for your ancestors? Outside stood Lu Mengyao with a stinking attitude. She opened her mouth, but I immediately cut her off. If you have something to say, spit it out. Don't delay my sleep. I'm extremely annoyed right now. If it weren't for the law, I'd have beaten you so hard you wouldn't know which way is up. Facing this brother, Lu Mengyao felt a bit intimidated, but she bit the bullet and said, Mom and Dad are calling for you. I gave a lazy response and slowly walked out. Just as I reached the hallway, I ran into Lucinian looking completely aggrieved, along with the Lu parents who had faces pale with anger. At this moment, I became even more certain. Lu Yinji, look at what you've done. We kindly brought you back, and this is how you repay us. Father Lu's face was as black as charcoal. He was the first to jump out and scold. Who needs your fake kindness? Who told you to bring me back? Did you even ask what I wanted? It's not like I shamelessly begged to come back. You're going to anger me to death. Mother Lu was trembling all over with rage. She pointed a shaking finger at me, looking as if she was about to pass out. Shut up. Father Lu roared preemptively, his fists clenched tight. I still maintained that cynical, carefree attitude. Shut up about what? If you can't afford to raise me, then don't acknowledge me. You bring me back just to nag endlessly. Lu Mengyao was the first to jump up. Lu Yinji, what do you mean by that? Who allowed you to speak to your parents this way? Didn't your adoptive parents teach you to respect your elders? I suddenly rushed forward, grabbed Lu Mengyao by the collar, and yelled hysterically, come on. Make a scene. I've got plenty of time anyway. Do you know what kind of life I lived over there? I couldn't even go to school, washing clothes and cooking all day long, getting beaten and scolded for every little thing. If I made a mistake, I couldn't even get a meal. Yanking her back and forth, I furiously shook Lu Mengyao, venting all the resentment I had built up over the years. It's a miracle I'm even alive. And you're all here nitpicking, thinking I was living in luxury over there? I continued to roar, and backhanded Lu Mengyao across the face. It scared everyone into keeping their distance. Father and Mother Lu quickly came over to break it up, but I had completely lost control. Like an enraged lion, I smashed everything in sight. Stay the hell away from me. I never want to see you hypocrites again. The Lu family was shocked senseless. They had never seen me so crazed. You treat an enemy's son like a treasure, and treat me like a weed. And now you're asking me why I'm like this? It was as if I found an outlet, pouring out all the grievances of many years, and I didn't stop until I had cursed enough. Goodness, the newly replaced furniture was ruined again. Seeing they were all too scared to make a sound, I decided to drop the ultimate bomb. I cleared my throat lightly. How about this? Give me 5 million, and I promise to disappear forever. Whether I live or die, it will have nothing to do with you. Deal. The figure of 5 million was calculated in my head. It was enough to live comfortably for several years, and I could completely break free from this messed up family. It was simply a perfect transaction. Father and Mother Lu exchanged glances, their eyes filled with complex emotions. Then they instinctively looked at the shivering Lucinian. Father Lu thought to himself, if they could send away this jinx and never have to see him again, what's spending a little money? Fine, 5 million it is. But remember, from today onwards, you have nothing to do with the Lu family. Whether you strike it rich or end up living on the streets, don't ever come back to bother us. Father Lu gritted his teeth, looking like he was going all in. He could finally get rid of this menace. What could a country boy possibly achieve anyway? He was destined to be a beggar sooner or later. I don't come cheap. Hearing this, Lucinian's anxious heart finally settled. He even put on a fake, whiny voice and said, brother, it's so dangerous for you to be out alone. Do you want to reconsider? I gave him a massive middle finger in my mind. I despise this kind of pretentious acting the most. I raised an eyebrow and said, how about I stay and watch you all play Happy Family Reunion every day? As soon as the words fell, everyone simultaneously looked over, their eyes wide open, panic written all over their faces. Are you crazy? Lu Nanji was the first to flare up, waving her hand impatiently. If you want to leave, then hurry up and leave. Don't dilly-dally here. The Lu family doesn't raise freeloaders. Afraid that I might back out, Father and Mother Lu Lu quickly chimed in. We'll give you the money first. Let's go handle the paperwork right now. I was extremely pleased, but I still loved money more, so I started to raise the price. Oh, wait, thinking about it carefully, 5 million really isn't enough. 8 million is more suitable. What do you think? This is a family bond clearance sale. You're outright extorting us. Have you no shame? What family bond clearance sale? Are you crazy for money? How much is face worth? Want me to give you a few pounds of it? Nowadays, money is king. If you want face, you'll go hungry. If you have no shame, you eat well. That's the absolute truth. 8 million, not a penny less. This is the price for my freedom. No bargaining. Lucinian bristled instantly, barking like a dog whose tail got stepped on. 8 million. Why don't you just go rob a bank? Mom and Dad's money doesn't just fall from the sky. Do you deserve it? I exaggeratedly widened my eyes and leisurely held up another finger. You reminded me. 10 million is more appropriate. After all, robbing a bank is illegal, isn't it? Lucinian wanted to keep yelling, but Lu Mengyao covered his mouth, afraid that this brother might say something shocking again. Father Lu took a deep breath, seemingly making a huge decision. 10 million. Get out right now. The Lu family doesn't lack this bit of money. Deal. Today I was really hitting the jackpot. Lucinian got out of a sports car, his eyes full of mockery. Oh. Isn't this young Master Lu who was kicked out of the house? You've cut ties, yet you shamelessly come to school. Could it be you're after the Lu family's financial aid? Oh my, you misunderstood. Educational opportunities are like limited edition action figures. How could I waste them? Look at you, coming from a wealthy family with no worries. Don't look down on self-made youth like us, just because your family has a lot of money. While saying this, I had a smile plastered on my face. When people around started looking over, I suddenly raised my volume. Speaking of which, I even gave up the position of the Lu family's young master to you. What more do you want? You're obviously the fake young master who was swapped by mistake. And now, are you even going to deprive me of my right to go to school? That's just bullying. I took a step forward while speaking, wearing a weak and helpless expression on my face. As long as you let me continue going to school, I can kneel down to you right now. I'm begging you. I've already given you the identity of the true young master. What more do you want? Will you only be satisfied if you drive me to death? As soon as I said this, the students around began whispering. Oh my god, so the rumors were true. Lucinian is actually a fake, and he's so cruel, driving the real young master away. If it were me, knowing I was a fake, I would have slunk away long ago. How could he have the face to stay? Lucinian's face immediately lost its color. He hadn't expected me to pull this trick. He panicked and explained, it's not like that at all. He took 10 million from the Lu family himself and actively severed ties. When did I ever force him? I snickered inwardly, but put on an especially helpless expression. I secretly applied a few drops of eye drops and looked at the crowd with reddened eyes. You clearly fell down by yourself, but insisted that I pushed you. The whole family protects you. What could I do? I had no choice. If I didn't leave, what else could I do? This wave of operations caught Lucinian completely off guard. Is this Lu Yenji crazy? He caused chaos in the house before, and now he's pretending to be weak? It's absolutely disgusting. That day, gossip about the fake young master bullying the real one spread everywhere. Those who already disliked Lucinian came forward in droves to support me. Lucinian, seeing this scene from the classroom, was so angry his fingers holding his pen shook. He wished he could kill me on the spot. Now I was living comfortably. Every day, not only did classmates rush to help me, even the teachers took special care of me. All this was because in that pop quiz, I pulled a huge upset and took first place in the grade. When the results were announced, Lucinian was completely dumbfounded. He stared fixedly at the report card, muttering continuously, impossible, absolutely impossible. He couldn't understand it at all. In his impression, I was clearly a poor student who couldn't even do his homework right. How could I transfer to this elite school and suddenly get first place? It must be cheating. Otherwise, how could I score so high? He immediately rushed to the office and confidently said to the teacher, I want to report Lu Yenji for cheating on the exam. The teacher had already heard the rumors about me, and at this moment, asked with a darkened face, Student Lucinian, do you have proof? Of course I do. Lucinian pulled out his phone and brought up pictures of the homework I did at home before. When he first came to my house, I saw his grades. It's absolutely impossible for him to get first place. He was always at the bottom. The teacher took the phone and carefully checked those questions and answers. Based on the mistakes shown in the photos, it indeed seemed unlikely I could take first place. The teacher's face gradually grew gloomy. He stood up and said coldly, I will investigate this matter thoroughly. After saying that, he turned and walked toward the classroom. Watching the teachers departing back, Lucinian smiled smugly. He secretly mocked in his heart. Lu Yenji, did you think I couldn't deal with you? Let's wait and see. The teacher holding Lucinian's phone came directly to me. He scanned the room, making sure all the students were watching. Then he said in a stern tone, I have always appreciated hardworking students. Their grades are earned through effort and wisdom. But if this grade was obtained through improper means, then that's a different story. With that, the teacher's sharp gaze shot straight at me, as if trying to penetrate my heart. He lowered his voice and asked, Lu Yenji, you tell us, how exactly did you get this first place? I calmly raised my head, looked straight into the teacher's eyes, and answered frankly, Teacher, what do I need to explain? I earned this first place on my own. Homeroom teacher Li Yao seemed very dissatisfied with this answer. He glanced at Lucinian next to him. Lucinian immediately got the hint and pulled down the projector screen. Li Yao quickly connected the phone to the multimedia and cast the content onto the blackboard. Those were the exercises I did a month ago, covered in red crosses. The teacher pointed at the blackboard and said, This is your homework from a month ago. You even got such simple questions wrong. How could you possibly get a perfect score this time? I glanced at the blackboard, lazily let out a yawn, and smiled contemptuously. Teacher, At that time, someone swapped my paper. When I got back, I didn't want to show my true level. That's perfectly reasonable, right? Are you going to use homework from a month ago to definitively say I can't get first place? At this, Lucinian stepped out from the crowd, looking at me provocatively. Then prove you didn't cheat. I couldn't help but laugh out loud, shook my head and said, whoever makes the claim provides the evidence. What does it have to do with me? I don't need to prove my innocence to anyone. The truth is clear in everyone's hearts. You're just making excuses. We can't just let this go. Since you think you have no problem, take the test again publicly. Let the teacher set a separate paper. If you can still get first place, I'll apologize to you in front of the whole school and give you an extra $1,000,000. Hearing the figure of 1,000,000, my eyes instantly lit up, calculating in my head, how many mechanical models could $1,000,000 buy? This bet was on, but on the surface, I still acted nonchalant. Sure, but you damaged my reputation. 1,000,000 isn't enough. At least 2,000,000. As long as you agree, I'll retake the test as you say. How about it? The students around were stunned by my momentum and began whispering amongst themselves. He actually dared to agree to this. Is he too overconfident? 2,000,000. That's going too far, right? Poof. If you don't get first place, I want you to roll out of the school. Never let me see you again. And when you leave, you have to literally roll. His words were full of provocation and sarcasm. I, however, smiled indifferently. Then you'd better prepare the 2,000,000. I've already recorded this. Don't think about reneging when the time comes. Don't lose. And then play the deadbeat and not pay. If I knew making money was this easy, I should have baited a few more people before. Maybe I could steal their key experimental projects too. Even Lucinian could be worth 2,000,000. Would the others be worth even more? Lu family ATM number 1 is ready. Will number 2, 3, and 4 be far behind? Just as I was thinking this, the 3 Lu sisters suddenly shivered at the same time. They felt like they were being watched by something terrifying. This chill made them uncomfortable all over. The 3 of them looked at the air conditioner in unison, thinking the temperature must be too low. For the 2,000,000, I took the test alone. To be honest, I didn't need to prove myself to anyone. But who could resist Lucinian, this fool with too much money, insisting on delivering cash to my door, offering so much? I'd feel bad refusing it. Before the exam, Teacher Lee wanted to give me 3 hours. I confidently waved my hand. 1 hour is enough. Once the exam started, I transformed into a ruthless answering machine. The answers flowed smoothly from my pen. For me, it was as if I could already see the 2,000,000 waving at me. The onlookers crowded outside the exam room, anxiously awaiting the teacher's grading results. Suddenly, the teachers stood up excitedly, shouting in unison, "Genius!" Lucinian rushed over and snatched the test paper. He flipped it back and forth several times, his face turning from suspicion to shock, and finally to despair. He staggered backward. Impossible, how could it all be perfect scores? This news detonated the crowd like a bomb. Everyone started discussing animated, wow, perfect scores on all subjects. He deliberately went easy on the last exam, right? Probably afraid of being accused of cheating, right? Lucinian is just jealous that the real young master is better than him. And Teacher Lee suspected Lu Yenji just because of one sentence. That's so ridiculous. Standing to the side, I was secretly thrilled. Not only did I prove my capability, but I also earned 2,000,000 and let everyone see Lucinian's true colors. It was killing 3 birds with 1 stone, and Lucinian's face was currently ashen, as ugly as if he had swallowed a live fly. He stared at me in disbelief, his face written with incredulity. Lucinian jogged over and stopped right in front of me, gritting his teeth in anger. His voice was trembling because he was too excited. Even his lips were quivering as he spoke. Why are you able to get a perfect score? I lazily lifted my eyelids, looking as if it were entirely natural. Is it strange that I got a perfect score? Don't you know there's a phrase in this world called study hard and make progress every day? I'm not like some people who just drift through the days. Inwardly, I was laughing. This operation was simply perfect. The surrounding teachers heard these words and were exclaiming in their hearts how good I was at acting. They had never seen such a hard-working, yet excellent student, and naturally couldn't praise me enough. At this point, the homeroom teacher of the honors class, Teacher Wang Wan, seized the opportunity. She looked at Teacher Lee somewhat provocatively. Teacher Lee, arbitrarily doubting a student like this, isn't it too impulsive? Jumping to conclusions just from hearing one person's words. When Teacher Wang turned to look at me, her eyes were full of admiration. Student Lu Yenji, come to our class. I guarantee our class absolutely won't have these messy situations. Thank you for your kindness, Teacher Wang. But right now, I have to handle a personal matter first. After speaking, unhurriedly, I walked up to Lucinian and said resolutely, 2,000,000. Plus publicly admitting you were jealous of me, which is why you framed me. Apologize to me. Lucinian's face was extremely ugly, but he had no choice. He could only pull a check out of his pocket. Here's the money. You want me to apologize? Dream on. I sneered, taking the check. Not apologizing is fine too. Before he could react, I raised my hand and gave him 2 hard slaps. This face is quite handsome. It's just the skin is too thick. If it were a bit thinner, it would be even better. Everyone present was dumbfounded. I just shook my hand like it was nothing. Ouch. Your thick skin made my hand hurt from hitting it. Teacher Lee, you arbitrarily suspect people and caused me a lot of trouble. So I've decided to accept Teacher Wang's invitation and transfer to the honors class. The whole place immediately exploded. Teacher Lee's face went from red to white. Teacher Wang, meanwhile, was beaming with joy. The news of Lucinian being slapped was like it had wings. It quickly reached Lu Mengyao's ears. As soon as the bell rang for the 3rd period, Lu Mengyao hurriedly rushed to the door of the honors class, roaring angrily. Lucinian kept his head down, full of resentment. But when he looked up, he pretended to have suffered a huge grievance, still acting hypocritically. Sister, it's really not brother's fault. In the classroom, I didn't even lift my head. Watching this show at the door coldly, feeling it was ridiculous. The students couldn't stand it anymore, whispering among themselves, this Lu Xinian sure can act. He clearly framed Lu Yinji for cheating, and now he's pretending to be the weak one. Exactly. Back then didn't he vow and declare that if Lu Yinji could prove his innocence, he would publicly apologize and pay 2 million? Now he gave the money but refuses to apologize, and even plays the victim. This guy is really shameless. Lu Mengyao heard all these words. She stopped walking, walked straight into the classroom, and asked with a straight face, who did you guys just say cheated? What exactly is the situation? A student couldn't help but speak up with a mocking tone. It's your thick-skinned brother, Lu Xinian. In the last mock exam, Lu Yinji got first place, and he went to report Yinji for cheating. He insisted Yinji prove his innocence, otherwise he'd publicly apologize and pay 2 million. Lu Mengyao was visibly stunned. She turned to stare at me, her eyes revealing surprise. You got first place? I didn't even look up, and casually replied, if it wasn't me, was it you? If you want to throw a fit, wait until school is over. Don't disrupt the students' classes. After saying that, I continued flipping through my textbook. In the next second, Lu Mengyao dragged Lu Xinian outside. Surprisingly, she really didn't continue causing a scene. In the hallway, Lu Mengyao asked Lu Xinian with a dark face, is everything they said true? Feeling his sister's sharp gaze, Lu Xinian steeled his heart and suddenly shouted excitedly, sis, you'd rather believe outsiders? I was bullied by them, and you're actually questioning me? After he finished speaking, he turned and walked away. Lu Mengyao didn't chase after him. Instead, she turned and went to the principal's office. After she understood the whole story and learned that I indeed got first place with a perfect score, a shocked expression appeared on her face for the first time. When she walked out of the administration building, she was still in a daze. The teaching level of this elite school was renowned nationwide. To get a perfect score was simply incredible. After school, I bumped into Lu Mengyao again at the school gate. I was stopped just as I exited. I looked up impatiently. Say what you have to say. Don't block the way, alright? Lu Yinji, your grades are this good. Why didn't you say so earlier? I know this person too well. From the original owner's memories, she's just a snobbish young miss who looks down on people. So I crossed my arms and laughed. Does it have anything to do with you? Would telling you give me a bonus? Or any other benefits? If we had known your grades were this good, Mom and Dad wouldn't have chased you away. I looked her up and down as if she was insane. Who cares? Aren't things great as they are now? If you're sick, go get treated. Don't be an eyesore here. After saying that, I pushed past her and left, leaving Lu Mengyao standing foolishly in place. Upon arriving home, I had a computer delivered. After assembling it, I couldn't wait to boot it up. With the system's help, I looked up Lu Mengyao's research project, and when I found out she was doing chip research, I couldn't help but laugh. What a coincidence. This is what I am best at. So without saying another word, I started drafting a thesis. In the days when I was with my mother, apart from studying desperately, I followed my mother around tinkering with these high-tech gadgets. As soon as the thesis was done, I handed it directly to the school's experiment group. The next day, the team leader of the university department came to find me personally. Junior, I've read your thesis. It is outstanding, but there are some parts we haven't completely figured out yet. For deeper research, I officially invite you to join our experimental group. I was just waiting for these words and immediately agreed. As soon as I entered the lab group, I showed my real skills, swiftly assembling the timer and adjusting the parameters. To me, these were just a piece of cake. How did Mom do it back then? I recalled as I operated. Suddenly, I remembered a key step. Right, I have to change the machine size first. After tinkering with the machine for a bit, in less than half an hour I made a small chip, even more compact than the one the lab had previously researched. Everyone was dumbfounded, simply unable to believe it. Lu Mengyao's friend linked her arm and teased, I hear this is the true young master of your family. How could your family bear to kick such a genius out? Shut up. Lu Mengyao impatiently pushed her friend away, but her eyes remained fixed on me. The performance test results came out. The whole place erupted in uproar. The chip I made was incredibly fast, comparable to top-tier foreign chips, and even superior in some aspects. Lu Yinji, you're amazing. You're simply a genius. I just like tinkering with these things usually. Since your lab had the materials on hand, I just gave it a casual try. Lu Mengyao had already been shocked by me twice. She walked over with a complex expression and voiced the question she had been holding back. You did this on purpose. What on purpose or not? Your lab only posted the recruitment notice 3 days ago, and I cut ties with your family a week ago. Do you think I have the ability to foresee the future? You even want a piece of trash like Lu Xinian, but you can't accept that I'm a genius? I looked at Lu Mengyao sideways. That expression seemed to say, how could you think that way? You even want a piece of trash like Lu Xinian, but you can't accept that I'm a genius? Lu Mengyao saw not a trace of anger in my eyes, nor any sign that I cared. She turned her head and walked out of the lab. I stood where I was, watching Lu Mengyao's departing back, a faint smile appearing on my lips. If she can't handle this, what will she do in the future? The research value of this chip was enough to attract state investment because it was completed independently. No one else could share in the results. Lu Mengyao watched all this, secretly gritting her teeth, her heart filled with unwillingness. Why couldn't she make it after trying for so many years? This brother who was kicked out of the house did it so effortlessly. I held the investment agreement and smiled slightly. Actually, I'm very happy to share this with everyone. I'll make the data public later for your research convenience, but the patent, I'll be keeping for myself. As soon as the words fell, the laboratory erupted in enthusiastic applause. The news quickly spread throughout the Lu family. Those family members who were always so high and mighty now had faces full of shock. This Lu Yinji's methods are really something else. Lu Ziyi shook her head and sighed. She wouldn't believe it even if beaten to death that we did this single-handedly, achieving such results. He must have used some kind of trick and stole our experimental results. Lu Mengyao slowly stood up from the sofa, her gaze sharp and firm. You're all wrong. That technology was completed by his own hands right in front of us. That is his independent achievement. It has nothing to do with any of us. Lu Nanji's eyes went wide. You mean that country bumpkin really has some skills? Father Lu's face was terrifyingly dark, scarily gloomy. If he really has so much ability. Why didn't he show it off earlier? So what if he's capable? Can he ride on top of our heads? Lu Mengyao lightly swept a glance at everyone. Her tone was calm but powerful. The other patents he recently applied for have state backing. If the research is successful, just one chip is worth 4 billion. If we want to use this patent, we have to pay too. 4 billion? Mother Lu cried out in alarm. This number clearly scared her. He's doing this on purpose, making things difficult for us, isn't he? Lu Xinian was hiding in the corner, his eyes burning with the flames of jealousy. He was biting his teeth hard, feeling incredibly suffocated inside. Why? Why is he so good at everything? At this moment, I was comfortably curled up in a lounge chair on the balcony, holding a cup of coffee, smilingly looking at the system screen, seeing the ugly expressions on the Lu family's faces. I couldn't be happier inside. These people really know how to make a fuss. I grinned and began organizing some data, planning to send a big gift to those two genius sisters of the Lu family. That's right, I was about to stir up trouble again. I first sent a detailed report to Lu Ziyi, clearly pointing out the flaws in her medical research, and also provided a reliable solution. When Lu Ziyi saw the report, she was completely dumbfounded. She absolutely refused to believe that I was the one who gave her the report. And what Lu Nanji received was a new proposal in the technology sector, which not only solved her current dilemma, but also showed her a clear path for future research. She flipped through it with wide eyes, and completely changed her impression of me. After the Lu family found out, they were once again shocked speechless. So, when the 3 Lu sisters blocked me at the school gate again, I wasn't surprised in the slightest. Oh, what brings the 3 great misses here? But I'm busy right now. If you have something to say, wait until after school. Depends on my mood, though. Lu Yinji, stop playing dumb. You know exactly why we're looking for you. Ah, I just felt that. Allocating funds to you all was too much of a waste. It's better to let the school give the money to a top student like me, isn't it? You. What? Did I say something wrong? You 3 great misses, relying on the family, monopolizing the best resources, and still constantly complaining about this bottleneck or that bottleneck. TSK. Lu Nanji's face was extremely ugly. If you had this ability, why didn't you say so earlier? You could have stayed in the Lu family. What exactly are you scheming? If I had told you, would you have believed me? Besides, I have nothing to do with the Lu family now. What are you still coming to me for? Could it be you want me to keep up appearances for the Lu family? Lu Nanji was at a loss for words. Don't give me this wee business. Go find your good brother. He is the hope of the Lu family. As for me, I'm just a passerby. I looked down at the watch on my wrist and said impatiently to them, I don't have time to waste with you. I've already wasted 3 minutes on you, and time is money. The 3 Lu sisters looked at each other, not knowing what to say. I had already walked far away without looking back, leaving only a dashing figure from behind. Lu Nanji wanted to chase after me and make a move, but Lu Mengyao stopped her. Enough, Nanji. Don't go and embarrass us any further. Her gaze, however, kept following my retreating figure. Her eyes complicated. Big sister, let go of me. That brat is too arrogant. I have to teach him a lesson. Are you sure you're going to teach him a lesson and not just bring humiliation upon yourself? How can you say that? I am your blood sister. Even blood sisters have to face reality. Let's go home and plan our next steps carefully. At this moment, Lu Ziyi walked over, frowning and asked, eldest sister, second sister, how much truth do you think there is in what he said? Uncertain. If he wasn't lying, then all our favoritism towards Xinian over the years has been entirely misguided. Does Lu Yinji really not care about the family inheritance? Will he really not compete with Lu Xinian for favor? Lu Nanji got excited again. Of course he will. That bad boy has a lot of schemes. Don't fall for it. Lots of schemes? I think you're just too naive. Eldest sister. At this time, Lu Xinian stepped out from the corner. Watching his sisters argue, he felt a burst of irritation. Recently my reputation had grown too big. It kept the university admissions offices incredibly busy as they continuously threw olive branches my way. But I rejected them all, claiming I already had plans. The principal was very puzzled. Student Lu Yinji, such good opportunities. Why give them all up? What I care about is the process. To me, the result isn't that important. The principal could only shake his head helplessly. At this time, Lu Xinian was not having a good time because of what happened before. Now basically no one paid attention to him. Everyone had seen through what kind of person he was. Add to that the fact that I was now so popular, and the 3 Lu sisters were revolving around me. Who would still be willing to pay attention to Lu Xinian? Lu Xinian sat in the classroom, gripping his phone tightly, itching with hatred in his heart. He looked down, staring at my photo on his phone, and with gritted teeth, he sent the photo to a group chat. His eyes were full of malice. Whoever can get rid of this guy, I'll give them 10 million. The group instantly boiled over. Many people were already gearing up, their eyes flashing with greedy light, as if they could already see the good life beckoning to them. As a result, on my usual route home, I was blocked by a group of people. This spot was specially chosen by Lu Xinian. No surveillance, simply the best place to commit a crime. The man leading the group rubbed his hands, his face full of menacing flesh, grinning broadly. Lu Yinji, of all the people to mess with, you had to offend our patron. Isn't this just seeking death? I looked around. Indeed, there wasn't a single camera. I stretched, and the corners of my mouth curled up. It seems you guys want to experience what ultimate joy means. Ah, this kid is pretty arrogant. Brothers, get him. The others swarmed up. In my mind, I asked the system, this doesn't count as me bullying them, right? After all, they came looking for trouble first. The system hesitated for a moment, as if pondering a serious question. I suppose it doesn't count. I grinned, and from my system space, I pulled out a 1.6-meter steel baseball bat, resting it on my shoulder, my eyes flashing with danger. Seeing this stance, the group was dumbfounded on the spot, their eyes practically popping out. I gave them no time to react, and with one horizontal sweep of the bat, screams immediately rose and fell, like a symphony. Ouch. With a hit like this, I reckon you'll be laid up for months. I mocked them as I fought. Those guys screamed in pain, all their previous arrogance long gone. Faced with the siege, I showed no mercy at all. wielding the baseball bat. I was like a god of war possessed. One comes, I hit one. Two come, I beat a pair. My movements were clean and efficient, exhibiting an aura where one man could hold off 10,000. Gradually, fewer and fewer people rushed up, and more rolled groaning on the ground. The thugs who were so aggressive just a moment ago now all had faces that had turned blue, as if they had swallowed bitter medicine. Damn, Lucinian didn't say this kid could fight so well. This is no student. He's basically Chun Hanan possessed. Seeing things were going wrong, this gang instantly chickened out. One by one they knelt on the ground begging for mercy, like they had seen the king of hell. Ancestor, please have mercy. We just took the money to do a job. We really had no choice. I fished out my phone, tapped on the video recording function, and said coldly, since you say you were ordered by someone, then tell me, who ordered you? One thug looked at his companions lying on the ground and steeled himself to say, it was Lucinian. He said as long as we get rid of you, he'd give us 10 million and also arrange for us to go abroad. Words mean nothing. Do you have proof? Yes. Look, the phone screen clearly displayed Lucinian's social media account and screenshots of the chat log. The evidence was conclusive. I nodded in satisfaction. After recording the video, I put away my phone, turned around and walked toward the end of the alley. That group watched helplessly as I left, not even daring to breathe loudly. Walking out of the alley, I was in a particularly good mood. I whistled as I walked towards the Lu family home, looking nothing at all like I had just been in a fight. In the Lu family living room, Lucinian was sitting on the sofa, pricking up his ears listening to the three sisters discussing news about me. His face was getting uglier and uglier, his heart bubbling with sour jealousy. Mother Lu heard that prestigious schools were fighting over me and felt even worse inside. She directed her sarcasm at Father Lu. Look at what you've done. We've lost so much money for nothing. I told you we shouldn't have driven Yenji away. Now you're blaming me. When we were kicking him out, weren't you part of it too? Lucinian listened to his parents arguing, feeling more and more like an outsider. He had originally thought my return wouldn't threaten him, but didn't expect reality to slap him hard in the face. He sneered inwardly. After tonight, that person will disappear forever. Thinking of this, he almost laughed out loud, but after waiting for a long time, there was no news at all from the people he sent. Logically, they should have succeeded half an hour ago. Lucinian was fidgeting, his fingers continuously tapping on the sofa. Suddenly, with a huge bang, the Lu family's front door collapsed to the ground, shaking the crystal chandelier until it swayed. Lucinian looked up in terror and saw me standing at the door holding a baseball bat, looking at them playfully. Everyone's here. Saves me the trouble of notifying you one by one. I stepped onto the fallen door, making a creaking sound. Every sound seemed to step right on Lucinian's heart. My actions and expression were full of provocation. Lucinian, I've come to play with you. Lucinian's face went deathly pale, his previous smugness instantly vanishing into thin air. His lips trembled. Why? So many people went looking for you, yet you could return completely unharmed? I scanned everyone in the room, my gaze sweeping over each face like a spotlight, ultimately fixing firmly on Lucinian. I heard you spent money to hire people, wanting to teach me a lesson. Unfortunately, your money has all gone down the drain. It just so happens I also have a score to settle with you. Lucinian's face was ashen. His body trembled uncontrollably, his whole person looking as if he were frozen stiff. He wanted to escape, but his two legs felt as heavy as lead. I took step after step toward Lucinian. The baseball bat in my hand swung with a whooshing sound, its metallic glint drawing cold arcs in the living room. Do you know what it means to lose the wife and the troops? You should have a deep understanding of it right now. Everyone in the room was so shocked by this sudden situation that they didn't dare move. No one dared to step forward to stop it. They could only stare helplessly. As soon as Father Lu saw me appear, his face immediately dropped. Even though I was very prominent lately, he would absolutely never allow this rebellious son abandoned by the family to enter the Lu family door again. He stared at me intently and scolded coldly. What are you doing here? The Lu family doesn't welcome you. Get out. TSK. Didn't I say it just now? I'm here to collect a debt. Saying that, I took large strides up to Lucinian, grabbed his collar, and hoisted him up. Intimidated by the baseball bat waving in my hand, the three Lu sisters, who always protected Lucinian, didn't dare to make a move. Lu Zi anxiously tried to smooth things over. Yenji, if you have something to say. Shut up. I shot a cold glance over, not giving her a chance to speak at all. I exerted force with my hand, yanking Lucinian right in front of me, our noses almost touching. Lucinian, I've already left the Lu family, yet you still haunt me relentlessly. Even if you were a dog, you couldn't bite this tenaciously. Did I feed you crap or something that makes you so reluctant to let go? Or is it because you feel inferior, knowing that there are some things you can't get even while occupying the spot, and so you've gone crazy? Smack! I lightly patted his somewhat handsome face. The next second, I slapped him fiercely. Ha! The crisp sound of the slap echoed through the living room. Lucinian flew out like a broken doll, crashing heavily to the floor. Just as the others were about to move, a chair leg scraped against the floorboards, making a piercing sound. I swung the baseball bat and looked around. Whoever dares to step forward and try, I'll make sure they leave here lying down. The cold tone made everyone's hair stand on end. The air instantly froze. Lucinian covered his face that was swollen like a pig's, his eyes full of fear and resentment. He backed away continuously, shouting shrilly, Lu Yenji, murder is against the law. You can't kill me. I raised my eyebrows, the corners of my mouth curling into a mocking arc. So you also know that murder is against the law. Then why did you hire people to kill me? I pressed forward toward Lucinian step by step, each step stepping right on his heart. My eyes revealed a dangerous glint. Lucinian trembled all over, but still insisted verbally, I didn't. I just had someone teach you a lesson. Teach me a lesson? What a boastful claim. I've already investigated your shady dealings clearly, stalking me, and trying to kill me? Today we will settle this account properly. The baseball bat struck the floor with a muffled thud. Father Lu finally realized the severity of the situation and shouted sternly, Lu Yenji, this is the Lu family. I won't allow you to act wildly. The Lu family? Who cares? I came today just to get justice. Yenji, could this be a misunderstanding? A misunderstanding? What misunderstanding? If you keep making a scene, I'll call the police and accuse you of trespassing. Reported then. It just so happens I also have things to give to the police. Father Lu was just about to dial the number when Lucinian suddenly lunged and knocked the phone away, screaming, "You can't call the police." Why not? Since he didn't dare to say it. I said it for him. The recording played out loud in the living room, and everyone recognized that Lucinian was the mastermind. Every single word hit the Lu family members, making their faces pale. The three sisters widened their eyes. Father and Mother Lu went from shock to fury, and finally, only faces full of disappointment remained. Lucinian's face was deathly white. He couldn't stop shaking, and tears streamed down his face. Dad! There's a reason for this. You have to believe me. I really didn't do it on purpose. Dad, listen to me. Enough with the crying. Now things are clear. I will hand these evidences over to the police. As for the rest, you figure it out yourselves. With that, I turned around to leave. From behind came Lucinian's mournful wails. Dad, save me. I don't want to go to jail. I was just confused for a moment. I really know I was wrong. Lucinian crawled to my feet on his knees, his face covered in tears and snot, like an abandoned beggar. Brother, I was wrong. Just give me one more chance, okay? I really won't dare to do it again. I smiled sarcastically and shook off the hand that was trying to grab me. My eyes were full of disgust. Don't touch me. You won't dare. I'm leaving. Seeing I was going to leave, Lucinian panicked and turned to Father Lu, crying out, Dad, I really did wrong. For the sake of how obedient I used to be, please help me. I was just jealous. Brother and sisters are all so outstanding. I also wanted to be recognized by you. Hearing his adopted son's tearful complaint, Father Lu felt a twinge of softness. He furrowed his brows tightly, a flash of struggle in his eyes. After hesitating for a moment, he finally spoke. Lu Yenji, what will it take for you to let Sinian go? I gave a meaningful smile, made a one gesture, and said slowly, 1 billion. Lu Yenji, are you crazy? 1 billion? You might as well go rob someone. Not willing? Then forget it. Anyway, after today, once the news spreads that Lucinian incited murder and that the Lu family's upbringing is problematic, your losses will be far more than 1 billion, along with the school bullying scandals. Since you're unwilling, then goodbye. I turned around and headed for the door. Father Lu broke out in a frantic sweat and hastily called out to me, wait, 1 billion. I'll give it to you. He took a deep breath and said helplessly, but you have to promise that none of this gets out. I can only guarantee my end. As for the others? That's hard to say. If you have time, go ask around at the school. Look at all the good deeds your precious son has done. Father Lu widened his eyes, looking at me in disbelief. What did you just say? His voice trembled, and all color instantly drained from his face. My eyes flashed with a cunning light. Once the money arrives, we turn the page. I came here for the money anyway. Father Lu's face was frighteningly gloomy. He exhaled heavily. Within 3 days, the money will be transferred to your card. Give me your account number. His voice suppressed anger and carried a bit of helplessness. I briskly sent him the card number, smiling incredibly smugly. Since we've reached a deal, then goodbye. After saying that, I turned and left, leaving the group of Lu family members staring blankly. The room was terrifyingly quiet. The system on the side was watching dumbfounded, muttering in its heart. Obviously, his mother didn't love money. How come this host is such a money grubber? Isn't this just pure extortion? Once I left, all the Lu family members' gazes fixed uniformly on Lucinian, like spotlights. Lucinian had stopped crying by now, but his eyes were still incredibly panicked. Lucinian, what exactly have you done? Lu Mengyao was the first to speak, her tone more fierce than ever. She had always been the most protective of this brother, but today's matter made her feel that the person in front of her was frighteningly unfamiliar. Being yelled at like this, Lucinian was dazed for a second. Then his mouth twisted, and he acted aggrieved again, tears pattering down. I was young back then, and they all said I didn't look like you guys. Mom, Dad, sisters, I really know I was wrong. As he spoke, he looked at them with pitiful, helpless eyes, much like a puppy that did something wrong. But this time, no one in the Lu family bought it. Lu Nanji and Lu Ziyi made eye contact, both seeing disappointment and anger in each other's eyes. This brother they had doted on for so many years had suddenly become unfamiliar and terrifying. Once we investigate clearly, we'll settle the score with you. Mother Lu shot a cold glance at Lucinian and turned to go into the bedroom. Her back revealed an unspeakable weariness. She just couldn't figure out, how did she raise such a thing? Lucinian slumped onto the ground, pulling his own hair like he was going crazy. How could this happen? It wasn't supposed to be like this. His voice was full of despair. He originally thought he could easily control the situation, only to discover now he had been deceiving himself all along. Thinking of the 1 billion that was about to arrive, I happily spun around in place. This is too profitable. Simply making a killing. I couldn't help but want to hum a tune to celebrate. My footsteps became much lighter. Suddenly, the system's voice rang in my head. Host detected that Lucinian's dark side value has increased by 20 points. Dark side? Does he even deserve it? The original host suffered so much and didn't turn to the dark side. He faces a little bit of a setback and acts like it's the end of the world. It's really disgusting. Sensing my thoughts, the system whispered a reminder. Maybe this male lead just has good luck. Makes sense. In this world, luck is actually itself. On the 3rd day, Father Lu asked to meet me at a cafe. Pushing the door, I saw him curled up in a corner, his brows tightly knit, looking like he hadn't slept all night. As soon as I sat down, he went straight to the point. Yenji, you knew about those things early on. As long as you're willing to come back, the Lu family's inheritance rights can be given to you. I slowly stirred my coffee. The vortex in the cup reflected my turbulent thoughts. President Lu, when did I ever know? And besides, the Lu family's inheritance rights. I don't care for it. As long as I want to, I can build 10 Lu families. Father Lu's pupils shrank, obviously not expecting me to be so resolute. He spoke with difficulty. Yenji, in the past it was us. Let bygones be bygones. Leave the inheritance rights to those who need it. As the Lu family investigated further, Lu Xinyan's evil deeds were like lifting a moldy carpet. Those carefully covered up misunderstandings were exposed. Bullying classmates, humiliating the weak. Every single thing was shocking. Relying on his status as the young master of the Lu family, no one dared to hold him accountable normally. When the investigation report came out, the Lu family shuddered. Father Lu gripped the documents with trembling fingers. He hurried home and saw Lu Xinyan still leisurely scrolling on his phone, instantly burning with rage. A resounding slap echoed through the living room. You bastard! You actually did these things! Lu Xinyan covered his reddened cheek, his eyes full of shock and confusion, and upon reacting, he roared. Just because I'm not your biological son and can't make money like your biological son, you can treat me like this? Why are you treating me like this? His voice trembled. He couldn't figure out how the father who always loved him could suddenly hit him. You guys clearly said you would never let anyone bully me. Lu Xinyan complained with red eyes. He was both confused and unwilling in his heart. Were all the previous promises just lies? Lu Ziyi looked coldly at Lu Xinyan sitting paralyzed on the floor, her eyes filled with disappointment and anger, as if looking at a stranger. She stood up, walked to Lu Xinyan, and raised her hand for another slap. The crisp slap echoed in the living room. You call this others bullying you? It's clearly you bullying others. Her voice was resolute, as if reading Lu Xinyan's charges. Lu Xinyan was slapped dumb. He stared blankly at Lu Ziyi, tears swirling in his eyes, his lips trembling slightly. I didn't. He wanted to defend himself, but found his words so pale. Didn't? The evidence is all right here, and you still want to argue? Look for yourself. What good deeds have you done? Lu Xinyan, trembling, picked up the report, flipping through it page by page. His face got uglier and uglier, and the light in his eyes gradually dimmed. After reading the last page, he fell to his knees with a thud and said with a sob, Dad, big sister, I know I was wrong. I really know I was wrong. Will you forgive me this time? I was just confused for a moment. Everyone turned their faces away, not wanting to look at him one more time. Lu Xinyan turned to Mother Lu with a last glimmer of hope in his eyes. Mom, didn't you love me the most? Will you forgive me? Don't call me Mom. Even now I can't figure out. What kind of thing did I raise? You're simply not human. Father Lu and Lu Ziyi watched his soul-crushed appearance, and although angry, they ultimately felt a bit unbearable. After all, they had spent so many years together. Xinyan, if you do wrong, you have to take responsibility. Our Lu family cannot accommodate someone like you. Lu Xinyan widened his eyes, staring at his father in disbelief, like hearing the end of the world had come. What do you mean by that? It means, from now on, go find your biological parents. The Lu family has no place for you anymore. He had originally thought this adopted son was very smart. Little did he expect him to do such stupid things. Lu Xinyan was struck as if by lightning. His whole body froze in place. The expression on his face completely solidified. He suddenly snapped back to reality and started wailing loudly, screaming heart-wrenchingly, Mom! You can't abandon me. I don't want to go back. I absolutely don't want to go back to live with those shabby biological parents. Lu Xinyan cried and shouted. His voice was as shrill as a dog whose tail had been stepped on. He crawled on his knees to his sisters, wanting to beg them to say a few good words for him. His face was smeared with tears and snot, but he was kicked away by them. He didn't give up and crawled to his adoptive parents' feet again, piteously begging, but he was viciously kicked away once more. This time he fell flat on his face. I was looking through the system screen, relishing this family farce with great interest. I couldn't help but click my tongue. Truly dogs biting dog. Neither side got anything good out of it. Host detected that the Lu family's regret value has reached 25. 25? They actually have the nerve to regret. Could it be that my mission is to make their regret value max out? That's way too sick. Just thinking about it gives me a headache. Can't I just cut the Gordian knot quickly? The system nodded solemnly, like an elementary schooler answering a teacher's question. The host guessed right. The goal is to push the regret value to 100. This mission is too much of a scam. Why is it that other people's missions are to beat up scumbags, while I have to grind for regret values here? Watching Lu Xinyan on the screen being treated by the Lu family like a football, getting kicked around, I felt secretly thrilled and couldn't help smirking. Oh my, Lu Xinyan, you actually have a day like this. Why aren't you arrogant anymore? Keep showing off. At this moment, the Lu family's farce was still continuing. Lu Xinyan had already been kicked out of the house. The news of severing ties, like a sudden hurricane, instantly swept through the whole school and even society. The once universally adored young master of the Lu family, now, like a falling shooting star, fell from the clouds into the mud. This turn of events really makes one sigh with emotion. And in this storm, I was like a breath of fresh air, still calm and composed. She came running over hurriedly, with an ingratiating look on her face. Yenji, Mom and Dad say they miss you. They want you to come home for a visit. I glanced at my wristwatch, smiled politely, but with a bit of aloofness. I don't have time. I still have to attend the professor's seminar. Sorry. After saying that, I walked towards the luxury car on the side of the road without looking back. Under the sunlight, the car's body gleamed with a dazzling light, as if showing off my special status. When closing the door, I deliberately rolled down the window and threw a sentence at Lu Mengyao. I haven't had anything to do with the Lu family for a long time. Even if I die, don't come looking for me. Lu Mengyao was completely stunned, obviously not expecting me to be so ruthless. Her lips moved, but she couldn't squeeze out a single word. This scene was witnessed by quite a few students. It instantly became the top headline on campus. Some people admired my decisiveness. Others thought I was too heartless. But regardless, I successfully attracted everyone's attention. Look at Lu Yenji. This is what a true young master is like. Handsome and capable. Way better than that Lu Xinyan. I didn't care about these at all. Suddenly, the system's voice popped up in my head. Host, the Lu family wants to make up for your birthday. They are currently figuring out how to curry favor with you. Before, they pretended not to see me. Now that they see I'm doing well, they come to offer their fawning. Truly hypocritical. This is the overseas research project the professor mentioned. Scanning the room, he asked, who wants to participate? I'll go. Great. With student Lu Yenji joining, this research will definitely go smoothly. I smiled on the surface, but in my heart, I was planning exactly how to avoid the Lu family and let them fret for a bit. The professor immediately had his assistant handle the procedure. I efficiently packed my luggage. That very afternoon, I boarded the special flight abroad. Looking at the sea of clouds outside the cabin window, my mood was exceptionally pleasant. On the Lu family side, they were in full swing making preparation, meticulously decorating the venue, preparing all sorts of expensive gifts. Every one of them rushed to the school with faces full of anticipation, only to hear that I had gone abroad. The three Lu sisters stared at each other in dismay, completely dumbfounded. The principal looked at them and couldn't help asking curiously, didn't student Lu Yenji tell you that he went abroad with the professor last night? The three Lu sisters shook their heads awkwardly, feeling very uncomfortable in their hearts. They seemed to have lost their most outstanding brother. This feeling was worse than swallowing a fly. My days abroad felt like a vacation, relaxing and carefree. After all, over these past years, I often traveled all over the world with my mother. Not only did it broaden my horizons, my English was also practiced to perfection. I had absolutely no barriers communicating with foreigners. I could practically speak it effortlessly. Coming to the US this time, I thought we could smoothly conduct academic exchanges. I didn't expect that right after arriving. The other party would want to steal my patent, and they even found various lame excuses, trying to detain me. These kinds of underhanded tactics, I have seen plenty. I sneered in my heart. Do you really take me for a soft persimmon, pusho? Facing this situation, I was well prepared and had arranged a countermeasure. Sure enough, on the day we just arrived, those pieces of evidence used to frame me all vanished bizarrely, as if they had never existed. Now, they were out of options. Not only did I retreat unscathed, I also conveniently taught them a lesson, letting them know that some people shouldn't be messed with. A week later, I successfully completed the research and returned to the country safely. Before leaving, I took the despicable behaviors of those people and recorded them all in my little notebook, waiting to settle the score later. After all, I am famously known to hold grudges. Just after getting off the plane, looking at their hypocritical faces, I felt nauseous enough to vomit. I sneered and said, "What? Now you remember to come pick me up? Has President Lu forgotten that we severed ties a long time ago?" Yenji, these were all misunderstandings. How can a family just cut ties so easily? Yes, Yenji, we all miss you very much. The previous matters have been investigated clearly. It indeed wasn't you who pushed Lu Xinian. We apologize to you. I'm sorry, Yenji. Watching their awkward and eager expressions, I burst out laughing, with teasing in my eyes. Every one of the Lu family. Do I need to remind you what was said back then? At this time, Professor Zhang came to my side. He immediately sensed that between me and the Lu family, there was an atmosphere of tense confrontation. I looked gratefully at Professor Zhang, a faint smile rising at the corners of my mouth. All right, then I'll have to trouble you. These people have nothing to do with me. We cut ties a long time ago. Just after I finished speaking, the Lu family's faces instantly turned very ugly, just like they had swallowed a fly. Father Lu was just about to open his mouth to retort when he was stopped by the bodyguards reaching out from behind. "This gentleman, please do not disturb Mr. Lu Yenji and the professor. They are currently under state protection. Please recognize the situation." Father Lu's eyes widened in anger. His entire face flushed red. "That is my biological son. What do you mean recognize the situation? Can't I even speak to my own son?" "Apologies. We have already seen Mr. Lu Yenji's certificate of termination of familial relations. We are just following orders. We hope Mr. Lu won't make things difficult for us." These words blocked Father Lu so much he couldn't speak. His eyes were practically shooting sparks. Mother Lu immediately started chattering endlessly. "Now look what you've done. Even our biological son was driven away by you. Are you satisfied now? I said it early on. Lu Xinian is unreliable. But you just wouldn't listen." "What do you mean driven away by me? The day we cut ties, were you not present? Or did you just stay quiet? Didn't you also not object back then? And now you blame it all on me?" The two argued more and more fiercely. From blaming each other, it quickly escalated to shoving. In the end, they actually started physically fighting. The scene completely devolved into chaos. This scene was coincidentally captured by reporters waiting at the airport. The video instantly spread all over the internet. The headlines were more sensational than the last. Lu family parents fight in public to shirk responsibility. Netizens left comments with great relish. This drama is even more exciting than an 8 p.m. soap opera. The onlookers watched with great enthusiasm. In the distance, Lu Xinian silently watched all this. His heart was filled with mixed feelings. He still hadn't returned to that so-called home because he fundamentally didn't want to go back. Why should they get to live so freely and comfortably while I have to endure all this? The more Lu Xinian thought about it, the angrier he got, especially when he saw that true young master, Lu Yenji. He burned even more with rage. He couldn't figure out why was everyone putting Lu Yenji on a pedestal. Just because he had good grades and could make money? Lu Xinian gritted his teeth fiercely and thought, I can do it too. In the car, the professor looked at my calm expression and sighed softly. Regarding such parents, do you really have nothing to say? Family ties also depend on destiny. If the destiny is too thin, it's better to just cut it off clean. As I said this, I carried a composure beyond my years. Even the professor was moved upon hearing it. Some people just don't deserve to be parents. 3 days later, I secured another 3 patents. This news once again poked at the Lu family's sore spot. The more glorious I was. The matter of the Lu family choosing the fake young master and abandoning the true one back then got dug up even more thoroughly. The 8th time I ran into Lu Zi, I completely lost my patience. The calmness on my face shattered completely. My brows immediately twisted into a knot. Is there something wrong with your Lu family? I said long ago, I have nothing to do with you anymore. Haunting me like ghosts. Aren't you annoying? Although the skyrocketing regret regret value made me secretly thrilled, but being harassed every day was truly annoying. From sending bizarre gifts to handmade bento boxes. At first, I entertained them with a few words. Later, I simply played a disappearing act. But the Lu family seemed to be acting in a melodrama, finding different ways to ask people to pass things on to me, just like they were putting on some never-ending play of repentance. The trend on the internet also started to shift. Some people started speaking up for the Lu family, but there were also clear-headed people who clapped back. Lu Ziyi was choked by my words until her face turned pale. Her gaze was so gloomy it could drip water. Lu Yinji, we've already done all this. What more do you want? Did I ask for your apologies? Our relationship was severed in black and white. Can't you understand human speech? I was so angry I laughed, stunned by this group's logic. Could it be that I forced them to put on this act? After Lu Ziyi left with her tail between her legs, that's your biological brother. Can't you care a bit more? What's the use of caring now? The person isn't even here anymore. Who are you putting on this hypocritical act for? This is called asking for a snub. Next time you want to deliver things, go yourself. I don't have time. Lu Ziyi walked upstairs without looking back, her footsteps heavily pounding on the floor, leaving Mother Lu standing blankly in place. She bent down to pick up the lunchbox on the floor, feeling very uncomfortable in her heart. That incident back then really broke the child's heart, but now wanting to make amends. Why is it so difficult? I coldly stared at the system screen, at Mother Lu's figure cleaning up the mess. My heart felt completely devoid of fluctuation. I knew too well how many cold stares the original owner suffered in this house. Those meticulously prepared meals, in their eyes, were just attempts to curry favor. Now I'm merely paying them back in their own coin. I tugged at the corners of my mouth. A flash of vindictive pleasure gleamed in the depths of my eyes. At this moment, the system's voice rang in my mind. Host, Lu Ziyi's regret value dropped to 20. It dropped by 25. Interesting. Sure enough, some people just can't handle setbacks. But it doesn't matter. The system only said the regret value needs to reach 100. It didn't specify who it had to be. If it really doesn't work out, we'll just start over. Host, your mindset is really good. Of course. Without a good mindset, how could I survive? That day, I was the first to hand in my paper and leave the exam hall and casually remarked, it was too easy. Sure enough, when the results came out, I became the top scorer with perfect marks. During the interview, I didn't forget to be sarcastic. I owe all of this to my family. If it weren't for their cold stares and suppression, I wouldn't have achieved what I have today. They were the ones who gave me the motivation to strive. Offstage, Mother Lu's face was deathly pale. Her eyes were both hurt and confused. Lu Mengyao looked at her mother heartache. She strode onto the stage and glared at me. Lu Yinji, you're going too far. Mom is listening in the audience. Is it appropriate for you to say these things? I grinned, the depths of my eyes full of sarcasm. You can't handle me telling the truth? The things you did back then. Her eyes shooting fire. I agilely sidestepped to dodge and counterattacked with a roundhouse kick, kicking Lu Mengyao flying far away. This scene left everyone present dumbfounded. The venue instantly fell into dead silence. I slowly turned my head. The expression on my face gradually distorted. Hit me? Do you even deserve to? What kind of trash mission is this? To hell with it. Saying that, I grabbed a large sledgehammer from the corner of the wall and walked forward dragging the hammer. The friction between the metal and the floor emitted a piercing sound. That day at the Lu family, you said everything in the Lu family belonged to Lu Xinian, and letting me come back was a massive act of grace. Don't be delusional. Pig slaughtering like scream. The entire audience watched in a daze. No one expected me to be so crazy. At this time, Lu Ziyi and Lu Nanji rushed onto the stage, wanting to stop me, rolling around in pain. When Lu Xinian framed me, every single one of you believed him. When I needed you, where were you? My questioning echoed through the venue, like knives stabbing into everyone's hearts. I suddenly yelled loudly. The ear-piercing shouts circled above the venue. Following that, I lunged at the three people on the floor. Punches and kicks rained down like a storm, until they all passed out. At this moment, my eyes were as fierce as an evil spirit. I slowly turned to Father Lu and Mother Lu in the audience, hatred surging monstrously in my eyes. Your Lu family. I don't care for it. If you dare bother me again, I'll take your lives. After saying that, I left without looking back, leaving a mess on the ground and a terrified audience. The air solidified to the point of suffocation. The system was already so shocked it was speaking incoherently. Host, what are you doing? The mission is to make them regret, and then experience the crematorium of agonizing regret. I am doing the mission, making them regret provoking me. Doesn't that count as regret too? But this has completely deviated from the main storyline. Deviated? The crap you took. Can you eat it back just because of an apology? As the video of me causing a scene at the venue went viral, the whole internet was hotly discussing the Lu family's affair. Everyone was discussing how the Lu family previously treated their biological son so coldly, and now, seeing their son excel, they rushed to curry favor. Many people felt that the Lu family had fallen into the money trap to actually shamelessly beg for forgiveness like this. And regarding the wicked things they did before, they didn't mention a single word. Is this group of people in the Lu family sick in the head? Similar comments blanketed the internet. Netizens' anger towards the Lu family burned fiercer and fiercer. What was even more extreme was the garbage Lu Xinian did in the past was completely exposed inside out by netizens. The Lu family's scandal surfaced one after another. Their reputation was completely ruined. This series of negative news directly affected the Lu family's stocks. In just a single day, their market value shrank by over 3 billion. Seeing all this, I felt secretly thrilled and couldn't help but reveal a smile. This kind of tangible revenge made me extremely satisfied. I pointed at the system panel and said seriously to the system, look. What's the use of just having them regret it verbally? You have to make them feel the physical pain of loss. The system stared at the panel, looking a bit helpless. Although it had anticipated this, it still wasn't quite used to my ruthless methods. It could only smile bitterly and chime in. All right, whatever you say is right. No wonder my seniors always said before, as a system, you should just shut up and watch the host perform. Thinking about it now, They were really right. But right at this moment, a miraculous thing happened. The regret values of everyone in the Lu family suddenly soared to 80. Host, why did their regret values suddenly rise so high? Don't panic, just wait and see. Regret without action is worthless. Only when their interests are damaged will they truly feel terrible. They must be regretting right now. Why didn't they believe the original owner back then? Why weren't they nicer to the original owner? Isn't that why the numbers have risen? So the process isn't important. Only the result matters. I crossed my arms, with my aura fully unleashed. At this time, I was lying in the city center, in the garden of my penthouse mansion, lazily basking in the sun. Sunlight passed through the leaves, casting dappled spots of light on my body. I casually flipped through a fashion magazine, the pages rustling. In the distance, the streets were bustling with traffic. The noise formed a sharp contrast with the tranquility of the garden. I occasionally looked up to glance in the direction of the Lu family, watching their family scandal blow up bigger and bigger. The smile on my lips grew deeper and deeper. The male lead is walking your way. The system's voice suddenly exploded in my ear, instantly shattering this tranquility. I slightly raised an eyebrow, casually tossed the magazine aside. Let him in. Not long after, Lucinian charged to the door in a huff. The moment he entered, he saw me standing in the center of the living room. I had my arms crossed, a contemptuous and provocative smile on my face, as if silently saying, "You're finally here." Lucinian was live streaming. He wanted to use this direct conflict with me to help whitewash the Lu family's negative news, so he could sit back in the position of the Lu family's young master. He stood at the door, his hidden camera continuously pointed at me, ready to record every detail of this confrontation. Lucinian pointed at me and questioned sternly, "Lu Yinji, you're behind all of this, aren't you? You just want to make the Lu family pay the price for protecting me before." As long as he could get Lu Yinji to admit it from his own mouth that he did all this, he would have a chance to return to the Lu family. Finding trouble for the Lu family? I don't have that kind of free time. If I have free time, I might as well read a few more books and apply for a few more patents. Shouldn't you think about all the good deeds you've done yourself? Bullying people, bullying classmates. These are all your masterpieces, Lucinian. What does it have to do with me? Lucinian was rebuked so hard he couldn't speak. The viewers in the live stream also started discussing animatedly. Every word of mine was like a knife, stabbing right at his sore spot. He suddenly realized how his past actions were so stupid and shameful, while I, like a bystander, watched all this with cold eyes, feeling no anger in my heart, only indifference and mockery, because I knew I had already won this contest. I continued, "If you really want to salvage the Lu family's reputation, I suggest you reflect on yourself properly first, and then do something practical to make up for it." I stood in the center of the spacious living room, my eyes flashing with a mysterious purple light, like the brightest star in the night sky. That was the summons from the deepest part of the heart. I slightly curled the corners of my mouth, revealing a mysterious smile, and said softly, "That's not what you're thinking in your heart." My voice was like a bewitching melody. I merely did what I had to do. That bullied person deserved it, pretending to be affectionate to seduce my fiancé. What's wrong with teaching him a lesson? His tone was full of resentment, as if that boy was the biggest stain on his life. Speaking of this, Lucinian suddenly started laughing maniacally. "And those classmates, always saying that I don't look like my sisters. How outstanding they are. Aren't they just saying that I'm not the true young master?" His laughter echoed in the empty living room, carrying a sick twist. Lucinian's face became increasingly gloomy and terrifying. The fact that I didn't directly take their lives is merciful enough. How dare they speak out about these things? His tone was piercingly cold, as if those people were ants he could crush at will. As he spoke, Lucinian suddenly burst into hysterical laughter again. "That bunch of idiots in the Lu family. I just casually act a little pitiful. And they really believe that piece of trash Lu Yinji did it. They are absolutely foolish to the core." His laughter echoed wantonly in the living room, like the greatest humiliation to the Lu family. But when Lucinian finished saying these words, he suddenly realized something was wrong. His expression instantly filled with terror, his eyes widening, staring at me fixedly. "What did you do to me? Why did I say these things?" "I hypnotized you, of course, to make you spit out all your true thoughts." The live stream exploded instantly. Looking at the panicked Lucinian, I smiled even more boldly. Lucinian suddenly woke up, realizing the live stream was still going on. A crazy thought flashed through his mind. He was going to drag Lu Yinji down to die with him. With bloodshot eyes, he lunged at me. Little did he know that since the live stream began, he had been classified as a dangerous person before he even touched me. He was pinned to the ground by suddenly appearing police. "Mr. Lucinian, assaulting state-protected personnel. Please cooperate with the investigation. Let go of me. I'm going to die together with him. If you threaten Mr. Lu Yinji again..." His face full of bitter jealousy. Why is he so capable? Ultimately, Lucinian was imprisoned on multiple charges, and the most serious charge was none other than his attempt to harm the state. He protected elite talents. In prison, Lucinian, because he previously had bullied a certain inmate's daughter, received special care. His life became exceptionally grueling, spending every day in remorse and torment. On the other side, the Lu family, who watched the livestream, started their set of apology performances again. But facing this, I appeared exceptionally cold. Having long seen through these people's hypocrisy, I was completely unmoved by their apologies. After this storm, the Lu family's reputation and status suffered a heavy blow. In just half a month's time, time, they started going downhill. 3 months later, the Liu family directly declared bankruptcy. Of course, in this, there was no shortage of competitors taking advantage of their misfortune. And I, relying on my genuine talent and knowledge, successfully joined the National Research Institute, opening a new chapter in my life. Seeing my achievements, the Liu family members regretted it so much their intestines turned green. When the system panel showed that the regret value had reached the maximum bar, I merely gave a knowing smile, as if everything was within expectation. Finally, without looking back, I left this mission world. When Liu Yanji opened his eyes again and returned to this world, the sight before his eyes was completely different. The familiar room became unfamiliar, but his mind was filled with the profound knowledge and deep accumulations I left behind. This feeling was like suddenly obtaining an indestructible shield and an invincible sword, filling him with unprecedented confidence and strength. This unexpected result he now gladly accepted, understanding that this was the opportunity one gave him, allowing him to start anew and live a different life. Liu Yanji decided to continue the previous career, but this time he would use the knowledge I imparted in a more mature and wise manner to meet life's challenges. He believed that with this knowledge supporting him, he would definitely be